I'm not ready for this. Some people think it's going to be good. Let's look at the card. 30 seconds. Rent-free. I don't think that's going to involve me. 100% Dingo, I'm saying it now. There's a corner rent-free. If something occurs to where I think that a rent-free behavior is occurring, though, I'll click this. Like if he's obsessed with Iron Gullet or something. I don't know. Rare W. Okay. Pretends to fuck. Coors Mountain. No. Virtue Signal. Jake tiptoes around TOS. You know what? Cuck. Fuck off. Nose Claw. How much does he really believe? Iron Gullet didn't even bet. Oh wow. Only claim of ethics. Smart. Again, yelling again. Okay, this is pretty. I don't know what Nose Claw or watches an ad would be for this. I guess if he watches an ad or does this, right? He might. Ableism, boring, screams, upset by something reasonable. Fuck it. Do they swear? Bitch, slur, baby mouth, walrus, jackass. Okay. We're doing 1/2 hour. We're doing a 30-minute stint, and then we'll do another 30 minutes, and then we'll finish it, which is 32:31. All right. Let's see. Iron Gullet. Don't worry. Either way, through the course of this, we will have a bingo card specifically for them. I'm a paladin at heart. I believe you. Okay. I'm believing you. Do I need to turn this up? We'll see. This is an Iron Gullet joint. Blame Iron Gullet or praise him. Choose, though, after. An evening with making hell nervous, which I guess is getting a shout out here. Can we make this bigger so they don't? Bang. All right. Perfect. Let's go.
I'm here. Amazing me.
I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up. Turn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got here.
Gay? Non-practicing gay? Ooh, we're getting... Hold on. I should read these. These are character cards. I didn't realize. Let me sip. Character cards. Jeremiah, a child bride with children. He does look young. Was he like 19, 20?
I don't know. I just got here.
Ryan Daniel, gay, non-practicing.
Ryan, you've been chomping at the bit to talk to me about, what's his name? Over in that other country. The latest news story that everybody's been talking about. Do you want to mention it?
You talking about Maduro?
Yeah, Maduro. I forget name.
He's now in U.S. custody. The American Armed Forces did a fantastic job of apprehending him and his wife. And my hat is off, even though I'm not wearing a hat. Kudos to the men and women of the armed forces.
Virtue signal. Okay. All right. We don't have bootlicker, but that would count. Fascinating. Right wing. Okay.
For a fantastic job they did of apprehending Maduro.
Apprehending. All right. So I don't care about Maduro's well-being whatsoever. What I care about is that without any sort of it was a unilateral executive decision to take another state's head of state, and now anyone can do that. Like, I guess this guy just feels tough and cool or something, but like China's gonna do that soon to Taiwan. Russia is like emboldened, of course. It's not like Israel hadn't stopped. Israel's been doing that. Like it's just a continued us, obviously, but I mean, so what's to stop a leftist president from like plucking Donald Trump out of Mar-a-Lago with any sort of like worry, other than the United States would be like, give us our president back, bro. Give it back right now. I actually don't think they will. You know what? I honestly, frankly, if Donald Trump got abducted today by any other country, imagine the wokest. Imagine if Canada, Justin Trudeau kicks it in. Katy Perry right next to him through the other window. And they subdue Donald Trump from Mar-a-Lago and take him. I don't think they could get congressional approval to extradite the president back. I think right now people would be like, fuck him! They'd have a Dude, we should allow referendums. We should have a referendum system. Okay. I don't want to see this guy's face better at all now.
Do you know what I say every time I hear...
You know what? Uh-oh.
Us liberating another country overseas?
Yeah, I do. You told me.
But what I say...
We always
have oil or minerals that we would love to have, and we take control so we can abstract those materials.
True.
Because granted, there are lots of countries that we don't liberate. Why would we liberate this one?
Oh?
And Trump, in the same breath, and I like Trump, I think he's a good guy.
Oh, do you?
And that's not the official opinion of the channel, that's just me.
What?
But...
You think he's a good guy? Why? Why do you like pedophiles?
Look at what he says. And he said, we liberated, this place. We're going to take control of it until it's safe to give control back to them. They have a lot of oil, and we're going to send over our guys to extract it. He said it just like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said it like that. Like,
yeah.
And I was like,
they got oil over there.
Okay.
They got oil. They sure do. I don't know if you're if you're saying that we liberated them to get their oil. I don't.
I mean, it would look that way.
We liberated them? They're not liberated whatsoever. What are you talking about? They're being installed with a leader?
Hey, every single time that I've done the research, I've found this, that we extract something from them like that. Every single time I've done it. Is there a time that I've not researched and maybe they were different? Maybe. But every time I've researched, it's been that way. Every time.
Well, hey, you never know.
I'm clicking Rare W. I'm clicking Rare W for that. That's crazy. I like Jeremiah more than this guy, but I mean, I still think he sucks. Uh-oh.
I mean, in World War II, we liberated a lot of countries. I don't think we took their resources.
What? In what? We liberated who?
I don't know. We did too. I mean, what are we doing in Ukraine right now?
Yeah, we got mineral rights in Ukraine. That's for sure.
France?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to remember, with
I probably already don't like him.
Biden in charge, we didn't. With Biden, we were like, do whatever you need to do. Here's a bunch of money. Is that much better? I don't think so.
And by the way, I'm not fucking sad.
So you're on the side of imperialism rather than aid. Just a dumbass. Yeah. I love the sad frameless mattress on the ground over there in Jer's room. Well, apparently this is his child's room next to the fucking fuse box.
At least we're now making a deal with them. We're trading.
Why is his child's room next to the fuse box?
And there's nothing wrong with profiting off of good work.
There's nothing. What is the good work?
I just
listen to
how hate how we're like, oh, we did charity. Not if you're making a bunch of money off of it. That's called a deal. Now, to answer your question, what did I hear today from the master? We talked a lot about honoring parents. Children obey your parents.
This guy really a lot.
Parents, but also how adults are to honor their parents. How even if you were sexually abused or if your parents treated you very horribly,
what?
To still honor them. I
would just click pedo here frankly, but defends pedophilia is not on my bingo card. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. You do not have to hand it to pedophiles. Yeah. It's concerning that you say he has children.
To love them and respect them. Not necessarily obey because you're your own man at that point, but to still treat them with that kind of love. And when people ask, to say that this is what God would want and that they're going to face God's judgment later.
Okay, so this is why religion is bad. Another good example. It's not the only reason, but it's another reason. The abdication of responsibility to like mete out actual, we'll call it justice in this case, but consequences for actions. God doesn't sort it out. They just die a pedophile and don't ever have to experience anything else again. Meanwhile, the victims of pedophilia have to deal with a life of pain until hopefully they can get some sort of like help with whatever damage has been done. So like, I disagree. I don't think you should just wait for God to sort it out. I think it's ridiculous. I think this is absolutely ridiculous.
And by doing that, you might get your own parents saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my pastor talked about. And I will say
That's what your pastor talked about? Your pastor told you to uncritically support pedophiles? That sounds weird. Why is he conditioning you to absolve pedophiles already? I wonder what he could be conditioning his parish for by trying to sanitize pedophilia and forgiveness towards pedophiles.
say I listened to the sermon and received all that information and could go on more while playing Minecraft.
You're playing Minecraft during the service.
Here, my wife wanted to stay in the car, and our church is getting crowded, so I didn't want to stay in the actual auditorium. So we popped onto Minecraft, and I started building a bamboo automated farm. So that's like engineering and building and designing, and at the same time.
Oh, Minecraft is engineering, building, and designing. That would be like using a CAD program while listening to the sermon, not playing Minecraft. Minecraft is like playing with blocks. Okay? Even if you use the special blocks to make them do stuff. Even if it's real and even if it's real good. I saw someone on Little Big Planet once with the tools on there make a working calculator. That was pretty interesting. A working calculator, can you believe that? Like a manual one. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, that was still playing a video game, not engineering.
I had my pastor on the radio.
Dude, I actually think Christian Minecraft server, the meme came from, like, Christians, like, literally indoctrinated kids with video games. It's not a joke. They do it still. Fortnite, Minecraft, fucking Call of Duty, they do this shit. It's not funny. They really do go intentionally to do that.
Is 101.1.
Not all of them, obviously, but there are enough of them.
And I was listening to that at the
We've seen their YouTube channels.
same time, and I still retained it all. ADHD brains for you, you know?
So
He's so smart.
you guys stayed in the car during the service?
Yes, in the parking lot.
Well, what's the point in even going?
Because afterward, we went back in the building and we fellowshipped with the people that were close to us.
So every time I've talked about this, I've been right, and I think everyone should just like really, really make sure. Like every good thing about any of their church stuff has been secular. Like they just like hanging out with people. That's fine. That's normal. Nothing wrong with wanting to hang out with some people and spending time being like, hey, ooh, catching up. Hey, how you doing? Cool.
Okay.
Churches aren't for messages. You can get a message over your phone. Churches are for gatherings of the saints. It didn't say in the Bible, don't forbid the passing of the message. He said, don't forbid the gathering of the saints. And that's what I was aiming for.
I love that he's like, well, I skipped church to play video games, and here's my passage in the Bible where I interpret that as excusing the behavior, which is just child stuff. I mean, this is like you were right to say this is a child with children. He is a baby child. How old is he? Like he cannot be much older than 19. I would be shocked if he could legally drink. Shocked.
And plus, you
He's
did
22. Holy shit.
put your kids in the nursery, right?
Oh yeah, well we also got the daycare.
Yeah, yeah. I can see now, but that time that last time I went to your church, and I was like, "Where are they?" They were in the car. I'm like, "Why are they in the car?"
That's because Mr. Ryan over here constantly wants to interrupt the service, and he doesn't understand silence during the service.
I don't interrupt the service.
Well, I tend to think very differently.
What is this?
Maybe I have a couple times.
For example, the devil believes God exists. The devil
What?
does not believe upon Christ to save him. Repentance or being saved is
I'm clicking boring.
to turn from rejecting God to accepting God as Savior
For this guy in particular, he's offered nothing.
and receiving that gift. Now, yes, you have to believe in that gift, but you have to accept that gift. There's a good way to measure if you're gluttonous. Look at your body, and if you're overeating, it'll probably show.
Well, Ryan, that sucks. Now, is Ryan going to be like, "Nuh-uh, I'm just old"? Well, that sucks, Ryan. Jeremiah, when he becomes 35, sudden glutton. Ableism? No.
Now, that's not to say that's for everybody, because there are some people who are very skinny and they're still gluttonous.
Oh, okay. So suddenly the thing I just said is stupid as fuck. By the way, I just said something that I don't agree with actually upon even a second of further introspection. So here's my qualifications.
As Tim covers in that video. But look at your body, and it'll kind of be a judge if you're overtaking, especially if you're older. Intricate?
No, this is body shaming, not ableism. This is already a square.
But poorly designed cooking videos.
I don't know what that means.
You're going to have to describe to me what that means.
Someone in chat saying, "Hey, do you have poorly designed cooking videos?"
Intricate, like detailed,
Yeah, it's
but
specific.
poorly designed.
We're looking for a specific guy.
Is that a thing people are doing? Poorly designed cooking videos? Is that entertaining to somebody?
I don't know. I certainly can't do a cooking video because I can't cook worth. I can do eggs and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
We got people.
I'm useless. I'm a useless man. My wife pretty much takes care of me like a big baby, if you ask me. I can't really do anything for myself. Cool. Baby mouth. That's crazy.
Wanting us to open the lines tonight. I did think about that. Why do I keep getting adults with imaginary friends on my feed? No matter how many times I click no, not recommended.
Oh no, he's getting owned. Is that you guys or someone else? Oh no. Cope in the lines. I don't work on Saturdays. Tell one of these guys to come through on a weeknight and we'll talk. I'm down with that.
Or not interested. Interesting.
What are you reading?
It's a comment 8 hours ago on one of the videos we had.
He just randomly read an 8-hour-old video comment? Wow.
He's pretty much saying why, like God, for example. Why do we have God as a friend? I'd say a couple of things. One, God might be calling out to you. He might be exposing it to you.
The older-looking guy is gay, remember? Does he have a husband? But he says he's not practicing. So what's he do? He just fucking orders out every day? I guess. Or maybe he just eats eggs. Couldn't possibly learn.
And two, the internet is really good at trying to make you angry. If it makes you angry, it'll keep playing it. So, I will say there's a little bit of algorithm there.
Yeah. So are they saying why do they keep seeing our
You
video?
think the algorithm is the comment is the algorithm? No. Stop. That's what. You getting a comment for the content you put out is not the algorithm at play.
Videos being recommended in their feed in their
Ours and other people's.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, well,
I think it was these guys.
God could be trying to reach some of these people who don't believe in him.
Yeah, God might be calling you. I'll send that as a message.
Okay, so what if atheism is calling you to believe in it?
Yeah,
That's probably
I
what I
think
believe,
that God could be using YouTube. God is definitely using YouTube to reach out to people who don't believe in him and don't know him.
All right, if you're a Christian and you have some curiosity, I would love to talk. That'd be amazing. He doesn't realize the commenter was talking about him. Yeah, I don't think they're very literate.
He's definitely doing that. Hey,
Yes.
how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right. You know, I feel like I can have a good conversation with you two. The only reason I've ever been like rude to you guys is because there's been like slur slang. There's been like some real weird racism when I brought up Black Christianity and how I was raised, stuff like that. That's the only reason I ever get aggressive, right?
Yeah, and Dustin has known to say a few of those things, and he's actually working on getting back in, so we may have to speak fast.
Okay. I'll try to speak back.
We have to speak fast because I allow slurs in my Christian chat.
Try to speak fast.
No, don't worry about it. I got in for a while now.
Okay. Like, see, we're off to a better conversation than we were the last couple of times. So this isn't, again, not attacking you, Ron.
Again! No, I'm just kidding.
But I know that you've talked about it before.
Doesn't count.
About how you've had your own difficulties with you're gay, correct? Or you?
I am happy.
Oh, I'm not saying you're not happy. I'm asking.
Well, I mean, if you ask me if I'm gay, I mean, the answer is yes, I'm happy. Because that's what the word means.
Okay.
Wow. Wowzers.
Fair. That is one origin of the word.
But little heads up, and Ryan, I will give you the ability. Ryan's a little touchy on this subject, everyone.
Okay.
Why is Ryan touchy on his sexuality? It's normal to have a sexuality. I'm not busy this Saturday. Maybe that's what I should do this Saturday. Maybe actually because unless our plans don't fall through. What time on a Saturday?
Okay. No, that's fair.
He's afraid of you attacking in bad faith in this topic, probably.
No. I would never do that. Look, I am in all honesty here, I am a bisexual man. I've had relationships with men and women, and any of those who
gay, bro,
who have identified in between. So that's why I'm asking, you know. And I know Ryan, you don't have that history on me. That's why I'm trying to preface that, right?
In the past, I did have sexual relations with other men. Yes.
Okay, so you're gay, yeah. That's okay.
Also women.
Okay.
But
Bisexual then?
now that where I am now, I feel that God has basically gotten me right. I don't believe I am committed to never again having sexual relations with anyone unless I marry a woman.
Wow. Quit bragging. All right. But you don't want to be with a woman.
So if I don't marry a woman, then I plan to be celibate for the rest of my life.
Okay. Sorry, you guys. I realize you guys also can't see my face. I'm trying to turn my virtual camera. I apologize. So you guys understand that I'm not like being sarcastic or anything here. I know I could sound like it. That's not my intention, right? So do you mind if we explore this a little bit, Ryan?
Sure.
Okay.
God, what a leftist. Oh my God. Consent? Oh, yuck. Ugh. Terrible. This is woke.
Okay. Because again, I just want to preface this that I've had relationships as well. I know kind of how that struggle can be, kind of how it can be very are you in the South? Please don't dox yourself.
Okay, so we're a third of the way through our selection and it does seem viable. If we clicked 5 every 10 minutes, that'd be 15 of these, and that's very possible bingo stuff. So I don't know. All he has to do is yell, scream, and pretend to fuck, and we're in there. I don't know. Again, could just start fucking flinging out. I have no idea.
I was wondering, are you in the South?
Oh yeah, I live in Georgia. I don't mind telling you that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I spent.
Can anyone hear the name Georgia like that and not go in their heads, Georgia? Can you help it? Georgia. You can't help it.
A little bit of time in Georgia during all my times moving around.
It's the only
so I just
thing
want
that
like
state's ever been good for.
So when you
And biscuits. And hoe cakes.
say that you've had these relationships and God has influenced you in such way, do you feel like you're a mistake, Ryan?
No.
Ooh, interesting. Why?
No. Okay. But you've had these urges or you've had these relationships. Do you feel like they are wrong in the eyes of God?
I believe that God designed sexual relations to be between a man and woman who are married to one another. And
Who are married to one another? Why?
in the past, when I was living in sin, I did have those kinds of relationships. But once I got right with God, he made sure that I knew that I can't have those relationships anymore. I can't have those kind of relations anymore.
So, like, can you steel man me for a second as a Christian? They never can. But imagine, can a Christian for a second imagine that they're wrong? Okay? God not real, fedora tipped. Okay? I'm right. God not real. We are physical bodies and we do not have souls, and when we die, that's the end of our experience. Do you think it is a good use of your experience in either sense, but especially in mine, in a materialist world? Do you think it's a good use of your experience to forego quality, loving relationships with other human beings? Why would a God of love make you have love, including sexual love, including desire? But why would he make you love men? I don't battle with this. Reverse Pascal's wager. Well, they should really consider their one life. Jake's wager. You have one life, and it is and all the evidence we have is that it's materially one time, and that's it. So,
Not unless I marry a woman. I can't have those relations with men. I can't have them with women unless I marry one.
Okay. And we're like we are at the understanding that God doesn't make mistakes if we take your doctrine at face value from what you guys say, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm wondering why you feel like that it is only under this way that you can have a relationship with a woman in marriage, when God doesn't make mistakes. If you are gay, you were born gay, for example.
No, not necessarily. We're all born sinners. Okay, we're all born into a fallen world that has been inundated with sin. So we're all born with a proclivity to sin. And we will, and there's all kinds of different sins out there.
Can I say something for a moment for both of you to think about?
Oh my God, no!
Yeah,
sure.
God damn it!
Some people are born
This guy was talking. Whatever.
really messed up. And I'm not talking about in the head. I'm not trying to be rude towards anybody. I'm saying like they're missing limbs. They're missing half their brain. They have something horrible to them that's messed up.
Absolutely.
So
Sorry, you're going to hear my dog barking. Sorry.
Yeah, let's just say the Christians.
I don't know what he's barking at.
Does God make a mistake with those? Or is it because we live in a fallen world that problems happen? That's just my thought process. I'm going to let you get back to Ryan. I want
So a fallen world is God's thing, though. I guess ableism, but like.
give
Well,
Ryan.
no, I would like to explore this with you too, right, Jeremiah? Because if people are born these ways with disabilities, for more information, I used to be a teacher, I used to be a private investigator, and I work currently with folks with disabilities. A lot of them are also religious. They want to go to like religious practices, and I help facilitate that with them. So if we operate on this idea that God does not make mistakes, he intentionally designed these people to be born this way. It wouldn't matter if we are in a fallen state because he still designed everything. He's still omnipotent. Mm-hmm. So he already knew that you are going to be gay or you have disability or you're going to be born in an alternative way, as a more respectful way to put it. Then I guess the question is, I don't want to say then the people around you. is a better way to put it. So wouldn't he want you to accept these portions of yourself?
Well, Jesus said, if any man will follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. And so, if people say, be true to yourself, well, Jesus said to deny myself.
Do you think that is fucked up? Because I do. Yeah, I think it's bad for a man to say, ignore how you want to live your life and live it based on how I say you should. Yeah, that's bad.
Basically,
like Christians hear that and they don't think that sucks.
Just to make sure, we're going off the King James version of the Bible, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Pretty much. Because it's pretty much because if I think it sounds like I don't agree with something in the Bible, I'll think of a different thing I do.
I'm not trying to interrupt. I just want to double check.
In order to live in Christ, we have to die to our old selves. And so my old desires, my desires that I did have, I have to die to those desires in order to be a new creature, a new man in Christ.
That sounds like transition to me. But way worse.
He basically, it's kind of like
I have to be a new creature. Like, why though? Why? I don't understand.
Military. How the military will break down the old recruit and build him into the soldier that they want him to be.
The soldier. Okay, so do you hear that? So that's bad. That's a bad thing.
When you come to Christ, you come as you are, but he doesn't leave you that
Nirvana.
way. He begins to build you into the man or woman that he wants you to be. And so we all come broken. All of us are broken before we come to Christ.
Disagree. I think you're broken after Christ.
We're broken, and then we
after Christ. That's a really good name.
Come to him, and he begins to fix us, basically, to make
but I'm not trying to fight here. If you are supposed to accept yourself, because we're not supposed to be unquestioning servants, are we? If so, why give us free will unless you believe that God should allow people to fall? Because again, he already knows who's going to fall and who's not going to fall. Yeah. So there is no, in my mind, if this is the case, then there is no purpose in accepting or not accepting. You just got living in a neutral state in your natural self, be it a person with disabilities, be it gay, be it atheist, be it somebody who believes in the Bhagavad Gita, anything else like that. It is ultimately pointless to sit there and go, well, I shouldn't be gay. I shouldn't love who I love. Because God already knows if you're going to ascend or not, if you're going to go to heaven or if you're going to go to hell.
You want to speak, Jeremiah?
Yeah, please. I don't want to be just ranting at you guys.
No, yeah, you're fine. You're doing good. And I don't want to overspeak Ryan, which is a tendency of mine. So I'm going to raise my hand and Ryan can call on me, just so we're tag teaming well. I would say
tag teaming.
First, Ryan's remark of saying we're all sinners and God asked us to die to ourselves is genius. Thank you, Ryan. Secondly, I'd say just because you know you're going to fall and just because you know you're going to sin doesn't mean you should just accept that part about you. And I'm just going to get into sin in general because having homosexual tendencies is just as bad as having any other sinful tendency. I want to
Can I ask why, Jeremiah?
I'll
Okay. I'll ask you why after. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was talking to a homosexual. They said, I'm gay. And I pointed out that was wrong. But we moved on from there. And I said, we're all sinners. Guess what? I've sinned too. I deserve hell just as much as anybody else.
So you're a gay boy too? Gay equals murder? So you're gay? You're just as gay as Ryan? Is what you're saying? We are all sinners. So I don't think it's sinful to love anybody at all. How could love be sinful? If you happen to also share sexual reciprocity, then that's amazing. That'd be wonderful.
Even though I have other sins. And so my whole thing is I was born with, sexual desires that were straight, but still very incorrect. I'm addicted to porn and I have all these other problems. And I'm willing to admit that.
Great.
So you could ask me, well, shouldn't you just acknowledge that you have those desires and you should just accept it? We should die to our flesh. If we want to become better, we should do what our Father asks us so that we can be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Okay, it's not unhealthy to come.
I'm gonna say no, and I mean that respectfully, because saying that sin or homosexuality, something that is completely normal in nature that we have observed in nature, is as bad as, for example, murder, is something that doesn't really add up in my head, right? Because if you sin, you just sin. It's done, right? That we're all understanding that one, correct?
Yes. Then once you sin, you are deserving of hell.
Yeah. So I
He's like a little kid explaining the rules. He's like, yeah, and then if you do that, you deserve hell. And we're like, buddy, but that doesn't make any sense. That's a stupid rule. This doesn't seem like a fun game. And he's like, yeah, but you did it, and so hell time. And it's like, but okay, but like, would a loving God consider loving someone as bad as killing someone and like hating them? And you have to say that your loving God considers those acts comparable. And so when you do that, it makes me think that you're fucking crazy. It makes me think that your God didn't exist and was instead the creation of some fucked up Bronze Age traumatized people. Because it was a fucked up time. They literally saw people getting executed all around them. You know? And once you believe it, it was because of fascism and religion and capitalism and imperialism colliding together. That's crazy that all those things cause people to be bad to each other. Again, put it on your jingos.
I personally, and a lot of people who are more like secular than I am, a lot of people who weren't born in Christianity or anything else like that, understand that comparing who you have a relationship with, be it straight, be it gay, be it with somebody who's non-binary, being compared to murder does not make any sense. It does not line up logically. There should be no reason why they are on the same level. It happens in nature between like dogs and lions and dolphins and octopi and everything else. The taking of a
Flowers.
life does not equate the same as holding the hand of someone you love. And if that's the case, why would I want to be with a God that made me this way and then tells me that if I am this way is going to throw me into hellfire?
So my answer, and then I'll let Ryan answer, is because one, God wants us to do what is healthy for us and what is good for us, and natural desires aren't always healthy. I
don't think God does want what's healthy for you, though. No, he doesn't. He doesn't care. Being gay is healthy. It's what's healthy is to love people. What's unhealthy is to be antisocial.
naturally want to get high, have sex with as many people as possible, and do everything wrong to myself. God wanted to be healthy, live a long life, and do all these good things that won't hurt me.
So denying science and reality will hurt you. Like when you inevitably deny your own child health care because you're going to pray the fucking disease away instead, that's not extending anyone's life, you know what I mean? When you're like, oh, I'm not going to get vaccines, and then you fucking die dry drowning in a hospital bed of a preventable illness and spreading it to some of your community members that you love going to church with so much, and you look across and you see, oh no, Brenda, that's Tom's wife. I coughed on her at church and now she's dying too. I'm listening to Tom cry. My wife is crying. We're coughing to death and we die. And then I find out I go to hell because that's technically murder, bro. God doesn't care. That's murder, dude.
So your loving father.
All right.
Do you mind if we deep dive? Do we mind if we deep dive on that, Jeremy?
Brenda!
Jeremy, excuse me.
Then Ryan got to answer, and then we'll go back.
Okay. We'll deep dive after that, because I feel like this is a good subject we can deep dive on. Go ahead.
And then the other thing is I want to clarify.
wants to come in?
I want to clarify, Ryan, if I can finish.
Okay.
The other thing
Can I finish?
is Jesus took care of that second part, the whole damnation part. He died on the cross so that we didn't have to, so that we could live in heaven forever with him.
Why is God powerless to do that without that going on? That seems like a really complex ritual wizard spell. Why is God limited by the magic rules that like you would make for like a demon sacrifice in a game? Can Christians ever explain this part? I would love to understand why you think. Okay, so what mechanism did that?
So no, it's not over once you said.
So what we're kind of talking about is equating natural urges like homosexuality, even heterosexuality, to something similar to murder. In fact, a lot of these things are all kind of
So Ryan's a murderer.
Not quoted, are all not what's the right word? Not analogous. On the kind of like the same level. Once you sin, you're kind of borked. You know. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I'm respectful of your guys.
Yeah, lying is essentially going to get you the same punishment as being a serial killer or being Hitler.
Yeah, and in that view, that doesn't line up to me because one of these things is just you being yourself, being the way that you were, in your guys' view, designed by God, while the other one is something that actively harms other people around you.
I know what you're saying, and I used to think that way. I don't believe that God actually makes anyone to want to have sexual relations with the same sex or.
Mm-hmm.
But
God,
that's part of us being in a
sorry.
fallen world, in a sinful world. That's just one of the many ways that we are broken. I was broken in such a way that I wanted to have sexual relations with other men, but I came to God and repented. I gave him my life, and he began to fix me. He began to fix what was broken about me. The
Bible, on that same subject,
that was part of my brokenness.
There's just no way that you don't still think guys are sexy. I think fixing the parts that are broken, like allowing me to deny myself physical or social intimacy with another man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does seem, well, a lot of straight Christian men seem gay to me as well. So, my gaydar for Christians is all borked because I think mine is just I assume there's some kind of queer that they have not confronted because they seem to like really grip onto this part of the belief, which is very strange to me because if you didn't give a shit about your own experience because they're so selfish otherwise, why would they be so fucking concerned with anyone else's? You know what I mean? Like if you actually don't give a fuck what somebody else has got going on, you're just like, okay, I'll let God sort it out. That'd be whatever. That would be one thing. I would still think you're a fucking harmful idiot, but like you don't. You try to legislate that they have to be Christians. So I think you should eat shit.
I understand. On that same subject, why would your God want to, one, equate the way he made you to murder? And then two, why would he design you and just things in nature to also be like myself, also be attracted?
Should have accused Ryan of murder immediately, by the way, with his dick. That would be the classy move, personally.
To the same sex.
Actually, he seems like a bottom, frankly.
That's just part of our fallen world that we live in. People murder people because of the fact that we live in a fallen world where people are broken, and so they commit that act.
People are broken by what? Sinful acts by what? By what mechanism was sin created? Adam and Eve. By what mechanism was Adam and Eve created? Well, God, but he wasn't responsible because it was the garden. Okay, who created the garden and put the apple there and created the people without the knowledge of good and evil? It's just, I go back to that because it's really hard for them to answer, and I feel like that question almost more than any of them, the Genesis stuff. It really, if you're at all curious, you're like, that really doesn't make sense. Horses like apples, but Eve too liked that apple. No, dude, I think Eve, centaur. Think about that. How'd she fucking reach that high-ass apple? Centaur. And then we fell from the horse and we're given legs. Eve was she was a centaur, not a horse. What the fuck? That's racist, dude. That's fucking racist, dude. What the fuck? You think every centaur knows every horse and is a horse? Not even close. Centaurs love apples, though. That is not racist to say, because Eve did it, and that she was the mother of them. You're blowing my fucking mind. I know, right? And we invented centaur racism all at the same time. The world doesn't need more racism. We're scrubbing that.
Just as people have sexual relations outside of God's ordinance because they're broken. I mean, it's people steal, people lie, people.
Please don't invent slurs for the fucking centaurs. God damn it! No, stop, please. The white urge to invent a slur. I don't even know if you're white. I'm gonna blame it on whiteness no matter what. I don't even know.
People disobey.
Stop it!
God's
Iron Gullet. Fuck no.
Way of us living because
I'm
we're all
done.
broken. Yeah, I mean, there's just different ways that people's brokenness manifests itself.
Apparently, the brokenness is manifested in both of these men's brains. That's sadly the most common type of injury.
I don't. That's kind of why I'm asking the question, because you're saying they're all equal, but
well, sin is sin. Any sin will.
But if I just assert it to you multiple times, don't you understand? They don't even. Christianity has robbed these guys of understanding that they're not making an argument. They're actually brain dead. I don't think either of them have what it takes to do the thinking right now. It's going to have to be like an old jalopy, like you're going to have to fucking bang the rust off of it for it to get going.
Will send you to hell, separate you from God, and we have to have the blood of Christ to cleanse us of the sin in our lives. We have to accept the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He died in our place.
I might end up
he was sinless, yeah, and it required a sinless God to. I guess you could say
I might end up giving a better.
He can't even describe it. We needed it to, like, you didn't even have to ask. Okay, so what mechanism made that happen? And we're like, well, he's sinless. Okay, why does that matter? So we just get another sinless person. Well, that would have to be immaculately conceived. Why? Why? Because of original sin? Why does that apply? Can we clone someone that's not part of the genome? Can we build a genetic person that's outside of heritage that will be the Jesus? It's the prophecy, bro. Okay, well, now you have to give evidence. Jesus was sinless but traveled around with his 12 boyfriends? Well, husbands. Asura. God damn. It's called a 5-head, brother. Do you believe in Christ, Asura? Are you a Christ believer?
End up giving a better answer.
Go ahead, Jeremiah. Go ahead.
well, I mean, the reason I'm
Hell no? All right, dude. Hell yeah.
asking Ryan is because Ryan has these lived experiences, right, Jeremiah? Jeremiah has other things that I would like to deep dive on if given the chance at some point in the future. But the reason that I pointed to Ryan isn't trying to catch Ryan in anything, but to get Ryan to kind of explain his worldview and how he feels and why he believes what he believes, and then have a conversation about that, because that's kind of the only way we can like dissect it,
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get to the answer because we have other people in here and we got to cut it short. If Ryan disagrees with me in anything, he can say so, and I don't mind giving him back the floor. But I just started seeing him kind of needing to generate an answer, and so I have something I would like to say. If that's okay.
I saw him needing to generate an answer. I already had a pre-programmed answer due to my religious indoctrination. So I would like to say that God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. So what mechanism does God require in human sacrifice for him to alleviate sin? Why is God powerless to alleviate sin? Your family's very religious. Well, you should be an atheist, but that's okay. What makes you agnostic, Asura? I specialize in making people atheists. And woke! Woke atheists. Yeah, for real, though. Like, there's no reason to be agnostic. There's no evidence to suggest that there's, like, a conscious thing that exists that created the universe. Like, there's no evidence whatsoever to suggest that there's a prime mover that like made the universe pop into place 13.7 billion years ago. Shad. I guess fear of what? Because hell and stuff. That's what these guys are scared of. They're scared of hell too. Because hell doesn't exist either. That's just like a Christian notion. Like, it depends on which religion you were born into, I guess. Typical shit. That sucks, man. I genuinely, I'm not joking. I actually do deal with people leaving their religion and being atheists all the time. Like, it's not a joke. Atheist Bible study and shit like that. Yeah. They're making hell new. They're fucking terrified, dude. So anyway, there's like no evidence to suggest any of this stuff exists, and they're all just like, these people follow literally Bronze Age thoughts of guys that were traumatized by like being fucking.
Socialism works.
Like, literally, think about it. If your whole life was wandering around the desert and avoiding people with literal sharpened bronze knives, trying to take your shit all the time. That's their life. So they go, okay, well, this war god helped us push back this group of people, and life sucks. And when that flood happened, it felt like the whole world flooded, man. HQT Adam, thanks for giving a sub to this guy. War pants. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So. Obviously, it's untrue. And a lot of people are conditioned just to think, oh, well, there must be something out there because these people believe it. There's not a reason. That's crazy. What a silly thing to think. Like, if you could take a step back and see it like I do, anybody, it's like, imagine Harry Potter became a new religion. You know what I mean? And you're just like, holy shit. These people believe in this lady's story, and they just won't stop. They just won't stop. They can't see that there's no evidence for this. It's clearly fiction. It's crazy, dude. Your mom wears pants now? Oh, shit. What a progressive religious woman. I'm proud of her, dude. I think genuinely, though, like, your mom and any woman that's in religion is oppressed, and it's sad, kind of. She's sitting now? Is she out of the religion? That'd be sick as fuck. Turf ass. All right, we're gonna keep going.
So, basically, when it comes to the understanding of why is lying like murder,
why is lying like murder? So when the Christian mind is like, why is lying like murder? It's not. It isn't.
Need to get right there is it's not that they are equal, because there are different levels of hell, and it's talked about how some people will be, judged even more harshly for certain things.
Are you referring to Dante's Inferno, which isn't Christian canon but fanfic?
And that's different. But
there's actually there's no biblical reference to like the types of hell you'll experience.
The other thing is that going to heaven specifically requires perfection. God is perfect. What God builds is perfect. If
God was perfect, why'd he make you gay, Ryan? Why is Ryan gay if God is perfect? Because it's a fallen world. Why is God's world capable of being fallen if God is perfect? Oh, sin? Satan? Why did a perfect God make the mistake of sin and Satan? Whoa, I don't know either, dude. You ever thought about these questions once? No, of course not. It's so crazy. Like, this is what anyone would do when they're reading a book. They'd be like, there's fucking plot holes, bro. Because of course you would. You'd be like, well, this doesn't really fucking make sense. As you describe more of the world to me, and I learn more about it, further and further we get away from your explanation of how things work. That's certainly coincidental, isn't it? Like, could they be wrong? I don't know.
Created us. We were perfect. So you have to be perfect.
We were perfect, but also we sinned so bad, everyone else sins. You're considered filthy forever because the most perfect people that ever existed immediately sinned. How do you fucking live with yourself? I would pull my own fucking brain out of my head. Like, it's just not reasonable. How do you not listen to the words you say and then read them in the order that you say them and then go, huh? And then think about those words and their implications and the logic of them? Am I alone? Am I alone on this fucking space rock? Clearly not.
Enter. If you're not perfect, you go to the only other place in
No, I'm yelling. That's a jingo.
existence at that time, which will be hell. And that's not a good place to be. The other thing I wanted to say is, why did God create people with desires like that? He didn't. He created perfection.
We could play a side piece jingo, too. That'd be fun.
Perfection messed up because they were beguiled. They were convinced otherwise by the serpent. And then that
Convinced by the serpent. Perfect people. Convinced by the serpent.
Messed up perfection then created
if I had dumb as shit on this bingo, it would be so good.
offspring that weren't perfect. And then God, yes, allowed, not created perfectly himself, but allowed other mistakes from that point.
Mistakes. Created, didn't allow them, created them. Literally created them.
So Jeremiah, folks with disabilities are perfect,
No.
but they're just they're more broken. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. I'm trying to understand. So they're more broken?
We're all messed up and broken in our own ways. Some people more than others. It's not necessarily evenly spread. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
okay. Just wanted to.
Thank you for your time.
I'll jump on out of here real quick. So let me just do this last little bit.
Dude, are we not getting... Iron Gullet promised with his whole chest that this was viable for this card. Now, I'm not going to deny if it gets spicy later, it might actually happen.
I would love to talk to you two again. You guys
ableism, but
are the more respectful people I want to talk to. So just a quick little spiel. I still cannot understand why a perfect God would design, and who knows everything, would design homosexuality and bisexuality and all that to be completely natural in like the world around us, even back in the biblical times, if you want to say that. I don't believe that any of you guys are broken. I believe that you are all genuinely trying to get through the world, and this is how you have found a way to cope with issues in yourself.
I think it's everything but nose claw. Having watched this, you think they'll do everything but nose claw in this? Man.
And that's not a negative thing. I believe that you should also accept these portions of yourself and then work on them, like you said, to be perfect. If you feel like you need heaven as a guideline, as like a guidance, that is fine. You guys really didn't address the why for my question, but that's okay because this is a more respectful conversation than I've had the previous times. I hope to talk to you guys again soon, genuinely. So
I can tell your bar is on the fucking floor.
I'll let you guys go. I will probably be lurking.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
The first thing I got on was to ask about trans kids, and I'm going to provide that statement in a much more respectful way. And then we tried to get into logic and reason and trying to define those. And just to start off with the bat, we can get into that again, but I find religion to be very, very reasonable and quite natural, actually.
Disagree. Some things will have a bit more lax since they don't swear. I don't think it's reasonable. I do think it is natural in that what humans' proclivity is to make a story out of events, whether it's accurate or not. That manifesting into religion is a psychology thing that makes some sense, but I don't think it's reason. It's emotion based. It's imperfect sensory information being relayed imperfectly with futile devices like words to do them. So everyone wants to debate. These guys do that though, you know. I want to have conversations, not debate. I disagree. Debate me! What I don't like are debates that are just big fucking panel shows. You know what I mean? I am interested in humans, though. Like, it's frankly, it's no different than, like, a podcast, like, where two people are talking about stuff that's interesting. But, I mean, I don't mind disagreeing with someone. It's just that a lot of times religious people can't fucking handle it. Like, and they'll say slurs and all sorts of crazy shit. They can't help it. Because they're fucking taught to be evil, and they don't realize it. It really sucks. What I would love more than anything is for Christians to be as benign and benevolent as they fucking claim to be. Instead, what I see is hate and anti-science ignorance constantly. Two religions? I love it when two religious people argue about dumb shit, for sure.
Even though I think it's different than logic. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the belief around trans rights, it's not because I want to convince you guys that being trans is not a sin. That's not going to happen, and I know that. But the reason why it's as important is that I am a trans activist, and one of the things that I face every day are children coming into my DMs begging for a reason to live, and they are in crisis. I don't know if you guys know the statistics around it. About half of all trans and non-binary youth consider attempting unaliving. I'm going to use general words to make sure that's DOS. And it's about half. And if they're Black or any of the other marginalized groups, I think it goes up to 68%. So these are horrifying statistics. And I have had parents there was a parent that she was calling me for a reason to live because her child jumped out of a moving car to get away from life. And so I'm coming to you to beg you to consider, not necessarily to change your point of view, but maybe think about how we phrase things and how that impacts individuals.
I don't think this is very effective communication, but that's whatever. Appealing to these people's morals is not going to change. What needs to change is their foundational understanding of their own ethics. This is just an appeal. It feels very liberal to me, which is interesting because I think my disagreement with her last time we talked was that she didn't want to vote at all, which I thought was also very stupid and privileged. Like, I'd rather vote against a fascist and do other shit than not have done so. Tool in the tool belt. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind taking this tact with them if that's what you want to do. I just don't think it's going to work. What needs to work is for them to really understand that they're just wrong and they don't have to be. And that it's safe to do so. It's not like, it depends on your religious situation, but it's, not easy necessarily to leave your religion. You're really brain fucked by it. Like, you're taught that you're inherently sinful and that you need God or you go to hell. And that can be a very compelling thing to stop you from fucking questioning anything when you're told it's sinful to do so. You know what I mean? Like, if I even question God, what if I die, dude? He's going to fucking punish me. That's crazy.
Because how it works when they come into my DMs.
And being trans is natural, or anything. Like, you can't even talk to these fucking guys about gender. Ryan here is gay, but he pretends not to be. That's crazy. How can you talk to these guys about their personal identities when they don't even know themselves? How could you? How could you understand a trans person's reasoning behind, well, I personally, as a human animal on Earth, feel more comfortable in these clothes and to express this way and to, like, wear makeup and be addressed as this. How can you not understand how it would make you feel to be addressed properly and for people to see you as you wanted to be seen, as yourself, irrespective of how it manifests in gender? I'm a heterosexual cis guy. I've never had gender issues or sexuality issues, and that's great because, I mean, it sounds hard to deal with. I got really lucky. I'm also an atheist, and I got raised that way. I fucking dodged every bullet that you could do. And I'm white. And a man. I got lucky as fuck, dude. It could be a lot worse. And it's not because it's bad to be gay. It's bad to be a gay person trying to socialize with a group of people who have been brainwashed to hate you instead of love you for no reason. It's so ridiculous. I don't give a fuck who you love, just that you do. Like, everyone wants to just fucking hang out and be happy. These guys refuse to fucking allow it. And it's almost always Christians. The Republicans, 99% of them are Christians. That's the problem. It's not a joke. It always has been. They're the problem.
I'm not there to tell them what their identity is. I'm there to get them to a hospital. Anthony Hopkins has a phenomenal free program called Mental Health First Aid, where I got certification to be able to help process these. And what happens is my goal is to get them safe. And sometimes, just for your guys' context, it is sending them to their religious leader. And sometimes after we get these kids out of crisis, it may be that they related to the struggles of the transgender community, but they were in so much crisis that they latched onto that because they were trying to find their way. But it turns out they just did that to connect. And so when they get out of that crisis, they don't know about that anymore. And then sometimes it turns out that they're not trans at all. And it's not my job to find their identity. It's my job to help them live one more day. And the language that was used on the last stream, not you, Jeremiah, but a lot of the language that was being used is the language that drives these people to take their lives.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah doesn't give a fuck. This is a little self-aggrandizing, frankly. It came across as a little bit like, look at what I'm doing. I don't know. I didn't like the vibe of that wholly. I appreciate the work in general. Not really, not super into the melodrama of, I don't know, I think maybe just trying to be compelling. But it makes it sound like, look at me. I don't know. I don't want to be mean. I'm just getting on vibe. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cringe to me. I think this is where a lot of my disagreement with this person ends up coming from. Whether they know they do that or not. I mean, it is off-putting. It is off-putting. I'm not surprised. It's off-putting to me, and I'm a fucking trans ally. But it's not because of what she's saying on that. Like, I actually think I agree with everything that's being said on paper. I just don't like that we're centering ourselves in the delivery of it, which comes across as very fucking weird. We got there. I figured out what was bothering me. I would put audio issues on some of these probably, but I don't.
And that's why I called in. And I know that's heavy, and I'm not here to talk about sin or anything else like that. Dude,
and then going and not just leaving them with the point you were making, but then going on to qualify and giving them ways out. I don't know, man. I just don't think this is an effective way to communicate to people. You keep giving them off ramps from the responsibility of ethic that you're trying to tell them that they have. It doesn't make sense to try to make your point and then a hedge so that they fucking don't freak out.
You know, if that helps people and that helps them find their way.
It really, I don't want to harp on this. It sounds like we're really trying to maintain these two little guys' behavior and emotions. And I hate deferring to that. I hate that.
Not going to stand in the way of that. I just want them to live one more day so that if that is a conversation they need, that they can have that with someone like you.
Such a hero.
I appreciate your heart in this. I really do. And
Great.
We don't want people jumping off buildings any more than anybody else. I would say the only thing is you can look at statistics two ways. You mentioned 50% of these, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said 50% of the people who are transgender or homosexual or all these things have thoughts about committing suicide. Is that correct?
It's a little bit different. It is, I believe it's 39% for non-transgendered youth, and it jumps to half, but those numbers increase when you include other marginalized groups.
Okay, so stats can be looked at several different ways. Have you ever seen the bomber planes that would come back from war statistic, where they would say
doesn't understand survivorship bias thing?
Bullet damage is all on the wings and tail.
What?
Therefore, we should armor up the wings and tail, right? Because that's where they're shooting.
What?
Have you heard that statistic?
That is not what that survivorship bias isn't what's being explored with this statistic whatsoever. I'm sure Atomic Crouton will mention that, right? Like, he's just so dumb.
In that story?
I have, and let me bring some. I brought up statistics. I brought up statistics
Let
last
me
time.
bring it up.
No, I want to give you some context on my background, and then you're good to go.
On my background, you know what I mean?
You have a chance to speak, so I can tell everybody else real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll get into what I'm trying to say, and then we'll get back to you, just so we're all respectful and we all have our turns. So
you know what I mean? Like, but what about my background? It's like, do you notice you do this? I don't know if it's like I have to let you know that I know what I'm talking about. Like, is it just compulsion? Or is it also like I want attention and fucking kudos for this thing? It's a virtue signal, or it's like a fucking really annoying ploy for like validation that I do not like. This is definitely what has rubbed me the wrong way every time. I don't know if she's aware that she does this. Maybe she is. Like, that is a problem that I don't, like, they don't know, they don't respect fucking gender science or the fuck. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Not only is it useless, but it's the continued urge to center oneself that is really annoying.
what I'm getting at is there's a statistic out there where these planes would return back from war and they would have damage on the wings and the tail, and they'd say, let's armor up the wings and tail. But what they didn't consider is the planes
not what they said.
Weren't making it back. We're getting bullets in like the fuselage and the engine and all the important stuff. So they did the opposite. So my concern, my true honest concern, I'm not just trying to fight or cause anything bad, but my true honest concern why we don't waver on what we say is because what we see is 30% of other youth, or whatever stat you said, have problems with suicide. That's really big. But it jumps to a bigger number when you bring in trans. So
due to their social treatment.
But what we believe and what we say is being trans confuses things more and cause more problems, and accepting it.
Blame Iron Gullet, but the ding knowers. The ding knowers were good. Dude, I think this is viable also. I think once they start getting into the fucking yelling matches, it will get worse. And they say they have a worse guy on here. I actually believe you, but for the first half hour, you lied. You lied to them. But look at these hell knowers raking it in. Raking it the fuck in, dude.